Hello everybody, I am Jake, aka Bomber, and I welcome you into another Jobber Radio prediction video. We're going to be looking at Ruthless Pro Wrestling's King of the Kill 2 tournament. It takes place on August 24th. Going to be looking at every single match on the card, including the tournament, of course, predicting each and every match winner. It's all going down in Maybee, Michigan around 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So get yourself to Maybee. And you know what? If you can't quite get there, if you can't attend the show live, do not worry. It's going to be streamed live on IWTV. Now, yes, Jobber Radio is sponsoring this event, but I'm going to tell you right now, even though it may sound a little biased, it may sound like I'm just full of it and I'm just trying to pump this show up. Let me tell you one thing right now. I'm going to be as completely unbiased as I can about all of this and tell you right now, this is going to be one of the most stacked deathmatch tournaments of all 2024. It's going to be very good. I can't wait to see it. And I have a feeling it's not going to disappoint. Trust me, unbiased, okay? Unbiased. Now let's get to the predictions. We have two matches that are going to be non-tournament matches. Let's get to those really quick before we get to the bread and butter of this show. The all-punk stable known as Total Fucking Chaos. They seem to be doing a little invade job at RPW because Chuck Stein is returning and bringing in Brandon St. James to take on Randy West and Schwartzy in tag team action. Now, I'm very familiar with Chuck Stein. He is the current Horror Slam Deathmatch champion. You've seen him showcase quite a bit here on Jobber Radio. Now, I don't recall ever seeing Brandon St. James. Maybe I missed him on a Horror Slam show. Not sure. Not sure he's even been there or not, but this is, to my knowledge, my first time seeing him. I know this is his RPW debut, so we're going to see what he has in store for us. You know, kind of unlucky for TFC, Total Fucking Chaos. They are taking on Schwartzy and Randy West, who are absolutely on fire right now. They have 3 straight wins in RPW tag team action. They just beat the Bruisers. They beat Dr. Redacted and Low Life Louie and the Big Fucking Bulls. Was that their name? The Big Fucking Bulls? Either way, they are on fire right now. So TFC's coming in at a unfortunate time. I just got done watching The Life of with Schwartzy and Randy West. It's on IWTV right now. Little quick plug for that. Very good, very entertaining. A little look into their lives behind the scenes. And, you know, I don't want to steal anything from Tommy Vendetta or Malcolm Monroe III, but they almost seem to be the pillars back, kind of holding up a lot of the deathmatch wrestlers right now, Randy West and Schwartzy, that is. So very cool. You need to go watch that. I don't see them losing here. I don't see them losing. They're tearing it up. I have a very, very good feeling there is a tag team title match in their near future, the RPW tag team titles, that is. So I'm almost willing to bet money on this one. Pretty confident Randy West and Schwartzy get the win. So we have another member of Total Fucking Chaos with that Kyle taking on the Kamikaze champion, Remington Roar. Just like Brandon St. James, this is going to be my introduction to that Kyle. Maybe I've seen him before and just didn't notice it. He's from Canada, so we're going to see him coming in, seeing if he can make a name for himself, at least here at RPW show. I'm excited to see what these new fresh blood talents that RPW is bringing in. I want to see what they have to offer. I just really want to see these new wrestlers. They have their chance to step up and have their time to shine. I saw on RPW's Instagram channel that that Kyle has said that he's won a deathmatch tournament before. I saw it was in Canada. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe we got a unknown coming in, a little wild card, so to speak, coming in here to take on Remington Roar. But, I mean, it's Remington Roar. In 2024, at least at the end of August, there are very few deathmatch wrestlers that are as dominant as Remington Roar has been this year. Mark that down. Mark that. If you haven't been paying attention, that's been going on. Look, I'll say it again. I want to see what Total Fucking Chaos, what they can bring to RPW. Hopefully they can make a good name for themselves on a, bigger stage here in Maybee, Michigan. But, Remington Roar's leaving the Kamikaze champion still. I will be absolutely shocked, jaw on the floor, if that guy Kyle can wrestle that title away from Remington Roar. So yeah, I'm locking that pick in right now. The Remington Roar, the Carnivore Remington Roar. Let me get the whole name right. Carnivore Remington Roar is taking the win, leaving with the belt. Tournament prediction time. Now, before we get to the actual tournaments, there was a kind of an announcement released on RPW social media that a new title is being crowned, announced, revealed here for this show. Now, when looking at RPW's Instagram account, the King of the Kill title belt was shown, and I'm going to read this exact text for you. It says, "We present to you the prize for this year's tournament. One man will beat 7 others and then face off against the inaugural King of the Kill, Tommy Vendetta, to win this beauty." After reading that, to me, that sounds like right after the tournament win, whoever it is, they win the tournament, they have to face Tommy Vendetta like that same night. Now, I don't know, this is not confirmed, but reading this text here makes me think that they're going to have to go through 4 matches now to get the belt, because I guess they're going to get it after the tournament and then have to defend it against Tommy, or maybe Tommy's coming in with the belt. It's a little unclear, but we're going to see there may be a 4th match for the winner to take on Tommy Vendetta at this same show. So I'm going to make my predictions here, assuming that's the case. It may not be. It may be in the future, but the way this was worded makes me think that this is going to happen at the show. And yes, I could ask RPW. I could shoot them a little DM or whatever and ask what's up, but they're busy. I don't want to bother them. So let's just have some fun. Let's make some predictions. Let's go. Match number 1, SHLAK versus Jeff King. On paper, this looks like an absolute blowout. I mean, Jeff King, yes, he is a veteran. He's been in the deathmatch scene for quite a while, has competed in lots of tournaments dating all the way back to the mid-2000s to the 2010s. The guy's been around. They don't call him the old timer for nothing. But don't let that deceive you, because SHLAK actually defended his XPW King of the Deathmatch title against Jeff King just last November. And if you haven't been watching Jobber Radio for a long time, or if this may be your introduction here, I don't know. But either way, there's a monthly deathmatch rundown that was taking place every single month last year. And in November, that match landed one of the top 5 must-see matches you had to watch in that month. So guess what? These two can go. They have quite a history that we're about to get into real quick. But let's just say, I think this is going to be an underrated match that you may be overlooking. You're going to want to watch this one. While doing my little research, because if you don't know me and this is your introduction to Jobber Radio, I'm deep in the stats. I like to go through all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of history to see who's done what, where, when, how, and why. But this is going to be the 5th time that SHLAK and Jeff King have faced off in deathmatch tournament action. That's crazy to me. I didn't have time to go back and look at other past histories of other people facing off, but that's got to be some kind of record, right? That's got to be some kind of deathmatch tournament record. How many times people have faced off against one another one-on-one inside of an actual deathmatch tournament. Now, this is, through different companies, XPW, ICW Mid-South, several other companies, but man, I don't think this has been done before. Having said that, Jeff King has not won any of those previous matches, by the way. It's all SHLAK. All SHLAK. So when you mix that in with the fact that SHLAK has been pretty active in RPW lately, and he has never been pinned or submitted in RPW yet. He's undefeated in that aspect. Yes, he did technically lose at the King of the Kill last year in the first round against Joel Bateman. We had, of course, Judge Joe Dred. We're going to be talking about him in a little bit. He came out, interfered, and kind of just, drug SHLAK backstage, and the match got kind of thrown out and Joel Bateman was awarded the winner. So SHLAK lost, but he was never pinned, never submitted. That was the only way he got eliminated in the King of the Kill last year. Other than that, he's won every single match since in RPW. So as you can see, stuff is stacking up. Yes, I think Jeff King is going to come in, put on a great performance. I'm excited to see. I hope these guys can replicate what they did in XPW last November. Hopefully, maybe top it. We'll see. I don't want expectations to get, too crazy and outlandish, but that was a good match. So I'm hoping this one is too. So there you go. SHLAK is going to get I'm pretty confident about this one. Pretty confident about this win. SHLAK moving on to the second round. Up next, we have Dr. Redacted taking on the current RPW Rust Belt champion, Lou Nixon. Now, you may not know this, and honestly, I had to go back and double check because I didn't believe it either. Since King of the Kill last year, Dr. Redacted made it to the finals. He lost to Tommy Vendetta in the finals, but since that match, he hasn't won a single match in RPW. He lost to SHLAK, he's lost to Akira, he's lost to Randy West and Schwartzy. He hasn't won since last year's tournament. So right there, that spells bad news for the Doctor. But I will say history, at least in deathmatch wrestling tournaments, history has shown and been in favor of runners-up of tournaments who return for the next tournament. I hope that makes sense. Like last year, Dr. Redacted, runner-up. Coming in this year, usually that spells maybe another runner-up, usually the winner. Go back and look at the deathmatch wrestling history and the tournament stuff. It's really weird how often and how many times that happens, but it usually does. Just don't tell that to Mickey Knuckles, because she's having to fight her way into TOD 21 this year after being the runner-up 2 years in a row. But just trust me, it happens a lot. So on the other side of the coin, Lou Nixon made his debut earlier this year for RPW and actually won the RPW Rust Belt in a 4-way title match. Since that night, he took the title over to the UK. He's been defending it left and right with like 34, 35 other deathmatch titles he's won over in the UK. The dude is, to say he's on fire, to say he is on a streak right now, that's an understatement. The dude is absolutely killing it right now. So he's going to be walking in completely with all the momentum on his shoulders, walking into this tournament against Dr. Redacted, who hasn't won an RPW since last year. And hey, I'm sporting Dr. Redacted all day, every day, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. So I didn't see this announced anywhere else as far as like on graphics or anything like that. But Lou Nixon did cut a promo leading up to King of the Kill where he said he was going to defend his Rust Belt championship in every single round. Now, again, that hasn't been confirmed anywhere else besides that promo. I haven't seen anything saying that that's happening. So that has me wondering, is that actually going to be the case? Or was he just saying he wants to be a fighting champion and wants to do that? Because there's already a title at the end of the tournament. So that's really messing with my head as far as these predictions go. Because if you want to sprinkle in a little more drama, yes, he did win the Rust Belt title in that 4-way match that I just talked about, but Tommy Vendetta, the champion, he couldn't defend that title because the night before in ICW, he took a really bad chair shot and he couldn't compete that night. So Malcolm Monroe stepped in as a substitute and ended up losing the title. So Tommy Vendetta was never pinned or submitted, losing that title to Lou Nixon. And right before I started these tournament predictions, I said Tommy Vendetta is going to be facing the winner of the tournament. So, this could be very, very interesting for Lou Nixon here in this Rust Belt title. Again, he said it in a promo. It wasn't confirmed. So at least I'm going through this thinking that the title will not be on the line only because there's a separate King of the Kill title at the end of the road. I have no doubts. This is probably going to end up being one of the better matches of the entire tournament. Both of these guys, very exciting to watch. If you haven't seen them yet, first of all, what the hell are you doing? If you're watching Deathmatch Wrestling, you've seen these two guys and they're killing it right now. So this is going to be a very exciting match, but man, everything seems to be stacked up against Dr. Redacted and definitely in favor of Lou Nixon. So when you sprinkle in the Tommy Vendetta stuff with titles being on the line, maybe not on the line, but definitely that King of the Kill title, I'm going to go, at least for right now, I'm going to go with Lou Nixon getting the win here in the first round. Now, I could be way, way off on this one. Like I said, history has proven in the past, runner-ups do very, very good in the follow-up tournament. So who knows? Maybe the tradition is going to be broken here and Redacted goes out in the first round. I'm going to predict it, but very good chance Redacted wins and goes super deep in this tournament. But I'm going with Lou Nixon here based off of what's going on with Tommy Vendetta. Vendetta could come out and cost Lou Nixon this match, and then I'm just going to look silly at that point. All right, next up, we got Otis Cogar taking on Matt Tremont. All right, let's face the facts. Right here on paper, Matt Tremont, big favorite to win in this match. Otis Cogar, he's been in 9 deathmatch tournaments. He's never made it to the finals, not once. On the other side, you got Matt Tremont, who has been in countless finals tournaments, and he's won 8 deathmatch tournaments in his career, the second most all time. So yeah, the odds are definitely stacked in his favor when it comes to on paper who should win this one. But here's the thing, Matt Tremont has not won a deathmatch tournament since 2019. And I bet you didn't know this one. Otis Cogar is actually 2-1 against Tremont in their careers against each other. The only time Cogar actually lost was with that ICW American Deathmatch title on the line, and that was earlier this year. So hold on a minute. We might have something brewing here. So let's add in that this is going to be Matt Tremont's only 4th appearance for Ruthless Pro Wrestling. Obviously, they've been pretty big key matchups, so we can't, shy on that. But that's nowhere near being, a regular for RPW. Meanwhile, Otis Cogar is almost an original and showed up on the 3rd ever show for Ruthless Pro Wrestling. He's got almost 20 matches in his career for RPW, so he is definitely, without a doubt, a regular. So, man, stuff's starting to look a little shady for Tremont here. I'm completely making this look like Otis Cogar is going to win too, which is very possible. We'll get to that prediction in a second. But man, Otis has been moving his way up the deathmatch ranks over the years. ICW, RPW, Circle 6. He's been making a name, having big wins, and especially ICW, by the way. No holds barred. Really putting in a fantastic past 2 years for ICW. Doing really good stuff right now. Can't be denied. Otis Cogar cannot be denied right now. And this is a big statement match for him in RPW. I know Matt Tremont really wants to win another deathmatch tournament. And I know Ruthless Pro Wrestling, let's be honest, let's call a spade a spade. Let's do what we do. I think I've said that probably in every prediction video I've done. Let's be honest here. Ruthless Pro Wrestling, they want to make sure they solidify themselves as a top deathmatch tournament, the King of the Kill, that is. They want to make sure that is a top deathmatch tournament, and it's seen for years to come, and it's a prestigious tournament, okay? Obviously, by the way, no duh, okay? Having Tremont's name on that champion list, pretty big deal. That is a pretty big deal. And yes, I am a Matt Tremont fan, so of course I want to see him get another tournament win, and I want to see him keep chasing John Wayne Murdoch, so they have their little race for most deathmatch tournament wins. But my gut is actually, after everything I just said, my gut is actually calling for Otis Cogar here. In my prediction videos, I usually kind of go with my gut, but I think I'm going to settle with my heart on this one. I think I'm going to pick Matt Tremont to get the win based off some stuff I'm going to talk about a little bit later in this video, but I don't want you to think that Otis has no chance to win this match, because this is his match to win. This is a big moment that he can make. Boom, I'm here. I'm the real deal. I can compete in these deathmatch tournaments. We already know we can, but you know what I mean. I feel like I'm getting this one wrong by picking Matt Tremont. Really, I do. And that would be a major upset. If Otis wins, boom, headlines, upset right there. But I'm going to play it a little safe too, and I'm going to go with Matt Tremont. But let's move on. I will explain a little bit more about Matt Tremont actually kind of very, very soon. The last match in round number 1 is Casanova Valentine versus Judge Joe Dred. Now, this is going to be a rematch from last month's Scum of the Earth show. The match ended up in a double pen between these two, so this is to see, who's actually going to be able to walk away with the win. Makes perfect sense to book this match. Great first round match. Have a lot of respect for both of these guys. In fact, I think I've said this in almost every one of my videos. Hardly anybody in the deathmatch scene can go toe-to-toe as far as out of the ring brawling with Casanova Valentine. He is top tier, elite level stuff when it comes to that. So when it comes to outside of that ring, I mean, he's good in the ring too. I don't want to make it sound like he's not. But when it comes to outside of the ring, hardly anybody can go toe-to-toe with Casanova Valentine. To counter that in a almost not as important way, as weird as that sounds, very few wrestlers can go toe-to-toe with Judge Joe Dred when it comes to promos. We're talking maybe Atticus Cogar, Ricky Shane Page, a lot of 440, but a lot of people can't hang with Judge Joe Dred. So we're going to see kind of two guys that are at the top tier of what they're doing right now. But when it comes to it, fighting is a little more important than talking when it comes to a deathmatch tournament. Just going to put that out there. I also want to say Casanova Valentine put out on social media that he wanted to compete in more deathmatch tournaments in 2024. Unfortunately, this is only his second deathmatch tournament of the year. So any other promoters out there that are looking for guys to compete in deathmatch tournaments, maybe give your guy a call, because he said he wanted to compete more, and this is only his second one. I'm pretty sure he'd be happy to join in on the fun. But just saying, just want to put the word out there for the dude, okay? Now, Valentine made it to the second round of the Games of Supreme Violence 2 tournament that happened earlier this year. But I don't actually see that happening this time around. And some of it's kind of not fair, because I'm going to be basing a lot of this off of kind of a story that's currently being told, a feud, if you will, that's being told inside the deathmatch world. So I think Cass is just on the losing end of that. That sucks. That sucks, but I think that's what's going to happen here. And to be fair, like I said, unbiased here. Like I said, Casanova Valentine has 0 wins in RPW. He doesn't have a whole lot of matches, handful, less than 10, but 0 wins. So when I say I'm going to be picking Judge Joe Dred here, spoiler, there's a little more reason behind besides just a story. He hasn't really got those wins yet. So Judge Joe Dred, he is a full-time regular. He's been on every single RPW show since his debut at the last King of the Kill tournament, where he lost in the first round to Hoodfoot, by the way. And then later he came back in and messed SHLAK up, which I already talked about. But yeah, you're always going to... It's kind of the reason why I picked Tommy Vendetta to win the King of the Kill last year, which I made that prediction right, by the way. Good on me. But you always see the regulars usually getting the bigger wins and usually getting the rewards. So that's also a little bit why I'm picking Judge Joe Dred here. Nothing against Casanova, obviously. So I'm going to get more into why I'm picking Judge Joe Dred, funny enough, right after I'm picking him to win right here, because in the next round, I'm going to be talking about why Judge Joe Dred is going to win this first round match. So here is the part in the video and the predictions where it's always super duper difficult. When you don't see a bracket, like RPW has not put out any brackets for King of the Kill 2, I don't know who is going to face who in the second round. So I have to make a prediction on top of a prediction here. Who is going to face who in the second round? I could be completely off. I think I was last year, even though I got the finals right and picked the winner right. I think I predicted the wrong matchups in round number 2. I may get that wrong again, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to go with what makes sense, and what I think makes sense, at least in my head, is going to be Matt Tremont, who may not even beat Otis Cogar. Matt Tremont, who I picked to win, going up against Judge Joe Dred, who I picked to beat Casanova Valentine, because boom, like I said, the story's kicking in right there. Judge Joe Dred and Matt Tremont have a lot of history that's been going on so far this year. This dates back to WrestleMania weekend at Miasma for RPW, where they went one-on-one, and Judge Joe Dred said he was going to kill the bulldozer, kill the killdozer, kill Matt Tremont, and put an end to the Tremont name. He came just about as close as you can get to doing that, and even started calling himself the New Dozer. He started coming out to Tremont's entrance music. He started dressing like Matt Tremont, and even in a promo, he's kind of even talking, kind of cutting a promo like he is Matt Tremont. He's the New Dozer, as he calls himself. So I'm liking all of this. This is all fun. This is all leading to something, though, and I'm thinking it's leading to this matchup right here. I could be completely wrong, by the way. This could be leading to something at a completely different time. That's why making these predictions is difficult. Hell, you know what? It could even be leading to the finals of this thing. They could face each other in the finals, technically, and this could still happen. Who knows? Who knows? That's what makes this fun. That's what makes this tournament actually right here super unpredictable and very exciting to watch. So let's do it. Now, if this is the final blow-off match between these two, and this is the end of their feud that they're doing, Matt Tremont has to win, right? I mean, he's got to put some respect back into his name that Dred has tried to tarnish, right? I mean, it only makes sense. So that would mean that Tremont would be going on to the finals if that is the case. But this is where a little bit of insider baseball comes in, where you shouldn't be thinking about this kind of stuff. It shouldn't matter, but when I'm making my predictions, I want to be as accurate as possible. So I look into these kind of things. This tournament takes place on Saturday, August 24th. The next day is night 2 of GCW's Homecoming. And guess who's on that show? Matt Tremont and Lou Nixon. Is Matt Tremont going to come in, compete in 3 deathmatch tournaments, and then maybe go on to do a 4th against Tommy Vendetta? And then go on to do a 6-man deathmatch at Homecoming the very next night. Of course, he's capable of doing it. But at this stage in his career, I don't think that's something that he's super interested in. Now, Lou Nixon, newer to the game, fresher to the game, he's that hungry wolf that's coming in ready to do that. I can definitely see him doing that. Obviously, not saying anything bad about Tremont, but he's at that later stage in his career. He may not be looking forward to having 5 deathmatch tournament or deathmatch matches in one weekend. I can easily see him not even making it to the finals. Hell, like I said, Otis Cogar is probably going to win this thing, but I went with my heart, not my gut. So Matt Tremont has a very strong chance to lose here, especially if he's facing Judge Joe Dred, who, like I said, has been at every single show for RPW. Meanwhile, Tremont, this is only his 4th appearance, like I also said. So I'm starting to repeat myself, so it's time to pick that winner. I laid everything out there. I'm going to actually, if this is the end of their feud, I am picking Matt Tremont. If this match takes place in round number 2, Judge Joe Dred versus Matt Tremont, I am predicting Matt Tremont to win. That's it. I'm laying it out there. I know I may have got something wrong along the way as far as who faces who, but that's what I'm going to go with. Matt Tremont moving on to the finals. So that leaves the other matchup for round number 2, the leftovers of SHLAK versus Lou Nixon. Now, when I say leftovers, you know what I mean. I mean, the 2 left over to pick. So these guys have fought in XPW last year, and unbiased, like I said, unbiased, coming in here unbiased now. The match was a little off, just being honest. It may have just been a weird clash of styles. It may have been just an off night for one of the guys, or maybe both of them, but something about that match, I think, needs a rematch. If this is not going to be taking place at King of the Kill, I would love to see this booked somewhere on some show. I would love to see a rematch between these two because I know they're both capable of doing better than that. And if this happens here, I have no doubts that they will perform better here on this show. So who's going to win in that? In that case, that was SHLAK that won. He defended his King of the Deathmatch title. But now we're talking about Lou Nixon, who has the title over his shoulder. Man, this is like super hard to predict because when I saw the list of the 8 competitors come out, the very first instinct I thought was SHLAK's going to win this. SHLAK has the win. When I saw everybody's name, I didn't see any matchups. I just saw the competitors. I was like, SHLAK's got this. But then I see the way the tournament's lining up, the way I see the matches happening now. And man, Lou Nixon has a very strong chance to go on and face Tommy Vendetta. I would love to see SHLAK get this win here, maybe get the win in the finals and go on to just smash Tommy Vendetta. That would be just fun to watch. Nothing against Tommy, but I want to see that. I do want to see that happen. But regardless, even if the Rust Belt deathmatch title is not on the line, I still think the intriguing matchup, the intriguing story that could be built around that final possible match is Lou Nixon and Tommy Vendetta. So I feel like I've went back against my gut feeling so many times in this video. I'm going to go with Lou Nixon to get the win over SHLAK. Craziness. If you would have asked me that when I saw the list of names, I wouldn't have predicted that. But right here, as I'm sitting here in this chair doing this video, I'm going to go with Lou Nixon to advance to the final round. So you know what that means. Finals time, Lou Nixon versus Matt Tremont. I feel when I say those names, I am going to be so far off in this prediction video. I usually feel so confident about my predictions, but I am not feeling good here, which is a good thing, by the way. That is a great thing, by the way. Wow. Ironically enough, 2 guys that I said are going to go on the very next night to go to GCW and fight in another death match the very next night. So That's why I feel like I'm not right in this. Damn. Oh, well, we made this bed. We're going to lie in it. We're picking a winner right now. With everything I laid out, with all the stories, with all of that, the only way I see Lou Nixon losing at this point, if he gets to the finals versus almost anybody at that point, the only way I see him losing is if Tommy Vendetta actually comes out and interferes, causing him to lose. Or, well, yeah, I mean, because obviously if Judge Joe Dred, I was going to say Judge Joe Dred will come out, but that will be because Matt Tremont will be involved. So he's obviously going to screw Tremont over, so Lou Nixon gets the win either way. So the only way I see Lou Nixon losing, I know I'm spitting out so many words right now, I'm just talking as they come. The only way I see Lou Nixon losing is if Tommy Vendetta screws him over. And that would be a fantastic thing for Matt Tremont, for Deathmatch Wrestling fans everywhere. Matt Tremont getting that 9th Deathmatch Championship Tournament win under his belt. Beautiful story. Awesome. Lou Nixon could get the win, and guess what? The dude still putting together a fantastic year. One of the best years anybody has had so far right now. Mark it down. Besides Remington Roar, who I mentioned earlier, by the way, a long time ago. That was like 30 minutes. How long is this video? Jesus. So I think it's time to wrap it up here real quick. I'm going to go with Lou Nixon to get the win for the King of the Kill 2. There it is. Put it out there. The word has been said. Lou Nixon wins King of the Kill 2. Then I guess he would go on to fight Tommy Vendetta. That would be the rematch from, that wouldn't really be a rematch, I guess, now to come think of it, but it would be a match that is set up because the Rust Belt was the title that I already explained all this. You know what I'm talking about. I could definitely see Tommy Vendetta, who is an absolute dick heel. Everybody hates him. He hates everybody else. Comes in, he's got that shit grin on his face. He's smiling, low blows, Lou Nixon. Everybody's booing, people are probably going to be throwing stuff into the ring. Everybody's going to be hating on him. I can see Tommy Vendetta definitely beating the winner of this, no matter who it is, because they just won 3 death matches. I can see Tommy Vendetta coming in. He could be all, long sleeves up that for some reason everybody hates, but that's the fuel to the fire right there. He comes in, gets the win, looks like the absolute dickhead, and leaves with the King of the Kill 2 belt, or the King of the Kill belt, I guess, not King of the Kill 2 belt, but the King of the Kill belt. And he just is the last thing you remember is him leaving with that belt, even after whoever it was, most likely probably a good guy, by the way, comes in and has that hard fought 3 grueling matches to get where they are. And he just takes it out from under him. 100% see that. 100% want to see that, by the way. But this has been a super long video. I hope you guys are going to tune in on IWTV. That is if you can't get to Maybee, Michigan. I think it's going to be a fantastic show. There's several bands that are going to be playing. Flophouse is happening. Flophouse Wrestling, that is. The night before is holding a show. There's going to be a midnight movie marathon. There's going to be a lot of really cool stuff. I hope this continues to grow. Jobber Radio, hopefully we will be here, with RPW, helping them out the best we can. And that's it. That's really it. I know I talked way too long. I'm starting to kind of lose my voice. But I'm just really excited. I hope you guys are excited. And let's talk about the show afterwards. Let's do it. I got nothing else to say. I've just talked way too much. Enjoy the show, everybody. We'll see you on the next video.